I have found it's been really helpful to put nature study into our morning time rotation. That way it gets done. And today I'm sharing why you should even bother. So today we're doing 10 reasons to add nature study to your morning time. I'm Joy and welcome to my channel. I do videos about Charlotte Mason homeschooling, nature study, and family life. Now I've provided in the link below some free lessons just to get you started doing nature study. I've put together 8 lessons on the flower that will allow you to just more simply get nature study done in your home, at the table, and I include nature journal prompts so that you don't have to worry about what to do. And there's also some illustrations that you can copy that go along with it. So check that out in the link below. All right, the first reason is to open your eyes to the common things around you. What I've found is that because we don't actually need to rely on, the moon or the wind or any of the other elements that are around us to know what the weather is going to be or to depend on the soil. Obviously, we still depend on it, but we're not connected to it, so we don't really need to know. So what doing nature study does is it helps heighten our senses and helps us to start to pay attention to the common miracles that are around us. So reason number 2 to add nature study to your morning time is so that your life will be richer and fuller. I'm going to read a quote that's over here. This is from Charlotte Mason, Home Education, page 71. A love of nature implanted so early that it will seem to them hereafter to have been born in them, will enrich their lives with pure interests, absorbing pursuits, health, and good humor. So when we study nature, it allows the things that we're reading, the things that we're learning about. For instance, in the Bible, there's the scripture that says, I am the vine and you are the branches. And if we're not that intimately familiar with a vine or a branch, that comparison will get lost on us. The importance of the vine to the branch, and then even that act of pruning, that is just something that we are not accustomed to as much, again, in the suburbs. So as we study nature, it allows those things that we read about to have a deeper impact and rest on our hearts more fully. So even in poetry, there will be a lot of imagery about nature. And if we don't know what those things are, or we've never encountered them at all, it will be a lot more difficult to understand what it's saying. So reason number 3 to add nature study to your morning time is as you study nature, you start to figure out that there is always more to learn and that you will never come to the end of our knowledge of even one particular subject. Trees, for instance. Space is another one. Crops and cultivating them. And all of these things are always changing and we're always learning new things about them. In our local community, we have a bunch of tree swallows that come in the springtime and nest here. And they actually come all the way up from Panama. And we had a bird expert out at our local park and we were asking him a bunch of questions. And he finally said, well, We just don't know. There's just a lot that we don't know. And here we are talking to an expert, and he still didn't have the answers that even just our small group of curious people could think of. And so that is one thing I love about nature study. It helps keep us humble and remember how finite we are and just how infinite God is. The fourth reason to add nature study to your morning time is to touch the past. So you may not think about that when it comes to nature, but if I tell you a story about the ladybug, maybe it'll change your mind. Did you know that the ladybug got the name ladybug from Our Lady? Now, Our Lady is a formal term for Mary, the mother of Jesus, and they named it that because the ladybug was such a helpful insect for helping farmers. They would put the ladybug out there, they would eat the aphids and keep away other harmful things. Well, eat them. And so the farmers saw the ladybug as something that was blessed. And so therefore they named it Ladybug in honor of Mary. See how knowing that kind of endears us a little bit more deeply to the ladybug, even though we may have already enjoyed having one crawl on our hand. Now we know that other people from other times and places have also enjoyed the ladybug. Reason number 5 to add nature study to your morning time is to connect with people in other parts of the world. So in our community, there are a ton of trees and plants and stuff from Asia. And there is one tree in particular called the princess tree. And it blooms in these giant purple blooms in the springtime, and they get these really cool looking pods on them later in the fall. And whenever we see one, especially when it's in bloom, my kids will say, "Hey Mom, there's a princess tree." And then they'll narrate to me the story of how it came to be the princess tree. And I'll tell that to you now. So when a little girl was born, a father would plant this tree in their yard. They didn't have a yard, but whatever, at their home. And it would grow. And since it's a fast-growing tree, when the daughter was about 18 years old and ready to be married, it would be tall enough to chop down, and the father would turn the wood into her hope chest. See how when we know that about the empress tree or the princess tree, we feel connected to those people, to that father, to that little girl who grew up and her father made her a hope chest. I love that. The 6th reason to add nature study to your morning time is to get outside regularly. For me, even though I love nature, even though I love getting outside in it, I find that laundry and dishes and food and people inside and messes all seem to keep me a suburban dweller in my house. So what nature study does is it is an intentional way to get me outside with my family, looking at things, exploring the world, and really just getting more energized and more refreshed from God's creation. The 7th reason to add nature study to your morning time is to practice learning wherever you are. This is something that is such a tangible thing that nature study affords us because it's everywhere and we can be walking along and all of a sudden, look, there's a caterpillar. What kind is that? Why is he going that way? Why are they all crossing the road at this time? That is one thing I love about nature study is it starts to get us in the habit for learning everywhere. So when we are learning in other locations. Maybe it's not just about nature. Maybe it's about something else. We have been cultivating that habit through nature study of learning wherever we are. The 8th reason to add nature study to morning time is to look for God's fingerprints on His creation. As we have dove more deeply into studying nature, we are starting to see God's fingerprints and, oh man, He made this way. Oh, He did that there too. So interesting. So it has been really fun as we explore and we go, okay, I wonder why God did it this way. Or how come animals have hearts and lungs and stomachs as well as humans? Why don't certain insects or certain other types of animals do that? Oh, they kind of use oxygen as well. Anyway, so what it does is it starts to let us see our Maker in His creation. Okay, the 9th reason to add nature study to morning time is for therapy. I have struggled with anxiety and depression and panic attacks, mostly related to pregnancy. And I have even found postpartum and just on the course of our day, having a regular dose of nature helps to ground me, helps to center me, helps to distract me from whatever I'm worrying about, and allows me to remember that I am small, God is big, and that is good. And the 10th, but certainly not least, reason to add nature study to morning time is because we are human. So often as homeschooling mothers, we want to make sure reading, writing, and arithmetic get done, and we're so diligent that it can actually become a drudgery, and it can really become frustrating and just mundane. So what nature study does is it infuses us with life. It allows us to focus on the true and the good and the beautiful. And this is good. This is life-giving.